Greetings everybody, Chris Campbell here in the leather shop this evening on a Friday evening. It is the weekend. I have to say the orders have been piling in for leather work for the past few days. I have spent probably 7 to 8 hours in the shop at night working on leather works. I'm sure you've already seen we finished the multi-tool for a customer. We finished the knife sheath, which turned out great. We've also finished one luggage tag and a second luggage tag for a couple's anniversary. And then we had a request to come in for a coaster or drink coaster. So we used one of our extra pieces that we had laying around and made a coaster. We've also made everything from keychains to belts to bracelets. If it's leather, we can make it gun holsters, you name it. So tonight on the bench, we've already cut out this pattern. This is a keychain. We've put the stars, the barbed wire, and we've also punched the holes for the thread and the hole for the ring. Now the only thing that is left to do is to dye it. This is the tanning process. This is where it's final tanned. And then we're going to sew it up using a gold-based thread. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put our dye on it to dye it. And we're also going to do the sides as well. Come over here. All the way around. Now for this particular keychains, we sell these for $10. And we can customize them any way that you want. We can add any type of a medallion to it, a Camacho, your initials. We can add symbols if you're a Mason, a paramedic, EMT, firefighter, law enforcement, what have you. We can add those stamps and engravings to the leather work. Alright, so now what we're going to do is let this cure and come back, and we will start the sewing process once we have waxed it and got it cleaned up. So stay tuned. Alrighty, so now we're back. It's been about 50 minutes to an hour. We've already let everything cure. We've already polished it and waxed it. Now we're going to start our sewing. So I'm using a gold thread and a 16 gauge needle. Now a lot of people always ask, how do I do my threading and my needle? So I'm going to show you a little secret that I do. I first thread the needle with the thread, and then I bring the piece of thread down to the table, and sometimes it works best if I use a harder surface. And I pierce the thread with the needle so it looks like that. I pull it all the way down and then form my knot by pulling it taut. And then I make 2 more knots into the thread, pulling it taut, and once again. Okay. And now we have a good form of a sewing needle. Alright, now I like to do a lot of my sewing by hand. I do have a leather sewing machine that I spent about $300 on, but I find it better to use the method by hand. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is start from the top here and pull the needle through so that I have just about that much sticking out. And now we're going to start our stitching. Okay, now I'm going to pull it taut and hold this until everything is starting to wind up the way we want. Bring this through. And this part is the single stitch. And then once I have done all of the single stitching, I go back over it by hand and do the double stitching. That way it's nicer, it looks nice, but it also makes it more durable and stronger. it will not come loose or break. So this is just showing you how we do basic single stitching. Okay. Whoop. And sometimes you will actually run into that where you back your stitch up a little bit too much, and you have to redirect. Perfect. All right. And now we can go in and out. This one won't take that long to thread because it's a small piece, and two, it's really not holding anything, even though we do have a thicker work piece that we're working with. It's not your average piece where you're holding two or more pieces together. This is more for looks than anything. It's a border. But with like everything else, you want it to look professional. And for some reason I cannot find my hole. There we go. Ah, this one wants to be a little bit tight. All right. So that is the single stitch. I'm going to go ahead and break for the camera since I don't have much video footage, and go ahead and do the double stitch, and I'll be right back. Alrighty. So now we're back with the double stitch process. Everything turned out to be great. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and add the ring to it, polish it up, and this is another piece ready for the customer. This is a beautiful piece made to order for a customer. So give us a call today at Campbell's Custom Leather Works if you need any leather products made or manufactured or customized. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.